Hello, good morning. Jeff here. So today I want to talk about a special topic that I've never really talked about much. Let's see. First of all, I am having chills this morning. So, I don't know. I'm not really diseased. It's just a part of what happens to me medically sometimes when, well, that thing that I mentioned with the burning sands, except this time it's a little bit different. The burning sands will be around often without the medical condition accompanying it that I got now. But it's like, sometimes it'll come on strong. Then the medical condition will start. This time around, there's no burning sounds to be seen. So, I don't know. But it's the same thing, more or less. I'm getting chills in the morning, same as every time before. But some things are a little bit different, so who knows. Anyway, whatever. So I'm not having the greatest of mornings. I got my fire. This one is lavender and chamomile. It smells quite good. And it's actually good to fire breathe now. This is the one I mentioned that had the strong scent. I don't know if anyone remembers or not. But in time it kind of got better and now it's breathable. And it really helps me warm up because I'm cold. Like the heat's way up and I'm cold. The fire's making me feel better. Always something primal about fire, I feel. Feels good. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today was some experiences I had a long time ago. What I'm referring to is before no point technology fell. So it was still up. So it's like the consciousness control thing. People were acting pretty weird still. Anyway, whatever. So during that time, I had a foot infection occur. It was particularly bad. I don't remember how it started. I think I got like a flu at first, and then it transitioned down or something like that. But I played a role in that because when the flu started coming in, all of a sudden, I did my night dancing, night dancing, and I intentionally put my mark on it. So in other words, so now this is going a little bit different than planned. And eventually it became my foot infection as far as I understood, or something. See, I don't know how this all works. I'm totally not understanding. And it might sound pseudo-scientific, and I really don't care. I take shortcuts, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Hey, whatever. And you never know. Maybe I'm right in some places, wrong in others. I don't even care. I take shortcuts. It's the thing. Anyway, it enables me to, I don't know, act when I need to. So I'm not going for accuracy. I'm not going for accuracy or convincibility. It's more about getting things done. I don't care if I have it right or not. So anyway, where was I? So I got this really bad foot infection for a very long time. And it reoccurred as well. So it's like it went away, then it came back. And it was, oh, wow. So, okay, during that time frame, it was particularly bad. And I understand they wanted to have remote pain. So I don't want to get into who ran the program and all that. I just totally don't want to go into specifics about that whatsoever. I'm fine. So anyway, where was I? It was particularly bad. They wanted to develop remote pain. So, I was a test subject for that endeavor. It made my foot infection severely worse. It would worsen my condition. And the condition itself is known to hurt. The condition itself is known to hurt. But what I experienced was far more than what should have been there. Let me say how kind of it was. Well, okay, so No, it wouldn't only occur. They were fairly careful about this, but it wouldn't only occur in the foot that it was at. Like I start getting pains in my left foot. Like, why is my left foot hurting? It's not affected. It hurt just like the right. I was like, what is this? Then it would go away. My fingers would just, and it's not like cardiovascular stuff. It was the same thing, but so it was like remote pain. Anyway, there's other things to it though. Is the thing. Oh yeah, it was psychologically reactive. My pain. So say I wanted to have, let's say for example, because it could get kind of rough sometimes. Let's say I wanted butter on a sandwich, and I was making a sandwich hypothetically, but some spirit or gray or whatever thing was around me, demon, I don't even know, thought maybe I should have mayonnaise instead, for instance. And if I start going for butter, they'd kick the pain up. No, like, no, that's not the one you want. And so it's like it would be psychologically active. Sorry. It lasted a very long time. So it wasn't like it was over in a week or two or a month or three. It lasted a very long time. And I mean, I couldn't really play games at a certain point because it would cause me great pain to play games. Like the thing I was mentioning, the psychological the thing that activates it whenever they feel, but it was like conditioning. They were trying to condition me. They're trying to work on remote conditioning with pain, severe pain. And so like games hurt to play. So I could barely play games. Um anyway, so you can imagine me as a gamer how that was gonna go. There were many nights where I couldn't fall asleep for several hours first of um, torture. I mean, okay, here's one thing: torture. Um, it's arguably torture. But it's not the same. Now, I don't want to be unclear. It's not the same as if someone captured a soldier and like physical with a physical presence. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. But I would argue, arguably, I would say, well, I don't know, it was pretty bad. I mean, I developed a torture face. I have a torture face that I'm actually proud of. Yeah, I got a torture face. Um, but the thing is, I'm actually quite proud of it. But I'll get into that later. So arguably, I'd say it was, but at the same time, I understand it's not the same as physical, like physical presence. It's more like all the time, but but anyway, whatever. So it was hard to sleep at night. That was kind of one idea of it. So it intensified at nights because they didn't want me getting my sleep. So but I'd stay awake for some time in pain before I could get to sleep actually, and it felt horrible. That's just the way it was. Of course, I couldn't play games. Sometimes, some days I could, and if I could play games, it was a struggle. I couldn't just relax. So I could most of the time. Most of the time I could, but there were some times I couldn't actually because it was just too much. But it was a struggle because it's like, no, you don't want that crop. That's not the crop you plant. So they're trying to condition me, like I say. So it would be, and then or if I decided to play at all, a particular game or something like that, then it was a struggle. Sleep was difficult. And there was some times where I couldn't do anything at all. I mean, I couldn't do anything. Like it was so intense that what I would do in those occasions, I would go sit down on my bed, and I would sit up. Um, I hold myself like this. I just do this. Anyway, but that's like I say where I developed what I call my torture face. See, I don't want to hurt myself, but it's like if I were to, there's a few ways of coping that I developed, and I'm really actually quite proud of. One is my torture face. That's like how do I do it? It's too much, and then it's like I can I don't know if I want to do it right now. I just anyway. That's my torture face. I'm very proud of myself. In that area, there was a certain silence that was with me. But it was my own. It was like my own. How do I say with me? It was. It's not like it was separate. It was more like it was there with me. And like all, it was just. I don't know how to say it right. Anyway, there are other things that I developed too. Like, for example, I can really say a good walk. I can really say a good walk. I don't remember if it was after I saw the Goldrin thing on World of Warcraft or if it was before. I don't remember. These days I'll think of the wolf. These days I'll think of the wolf when I do it. But like if I don't want to do something and I know what I want, that's what I'm going to do. It's just my emotions or my pain is off the charts, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Then it's like that's when I developed my way of saying walk. I don't want to be too loud, but it's like let's see if I can do it. Walk. Walk. But it's like in a mental way. Like I'll often say it if I'm in pain or just don't want to do it. Walk. And I'm like, okay, I'll go. And so, yeah. Anyway, but I mean, so I like the way I am. I like the way I turned out as a person. But I don't attribute that to the torture I received. I mean, yeah, there was a certain silence that really grew stronger, and there was a resolution inside that that grew to just nothing at all. And so, what I'm trying to say is that I'm very proud of myself, but it's not the Gray's doing that I've turned out so well. I mean, you might hear me say turn out so well, well, look at you, he's fought and stuff, but it's like, I know better. I know who I am. I've seen my face. I know who I am. I don't know how to say it right, excuse. I know who I am. I know I'm good. No question. That's gone. Anyway, so, I guess, so what I was trying to say is I love who I am. And I don't attribute that to what the Greys did to me, even though that circumstance played a role in it. I mean, the thing is that their intent was different. Their intent was different. They wanted to crush me. They wanted to ruin me and crush me. Not only, and even so, they're Greys. They try to screw with your mind. So where was I? I seem to have forgotten. Oh, yeah. It's not their doing and what they did that I turned out so well. Because I could have done anything. I had full freedom to do anything I wanted. And the way I reacted is totally 100% mine. That's not theirs. That's mine. I reacted the way I did. Those are my choices. That's what I went through. The reason I'm the way I am today is because of me, not them. So sometimes I'll hear them argue, oh, well, but if you didn't go through that torture, then, well, you wouldn't be so great or something like that. And I'm just like, I know better. That came from me. As well, I know fully well. Anyway, yeah, it was intense. And like I say, it was remote pain. They were doing it to me. I should probably describe. There was some nights where I had, it usually come around at nights. So there's normal infection pain and whatnot, usually. But then at nights they had a special tool that I haven't seen in a long time. I'm so happy I haven't seen this tool being used. I tried to get it banned, and thankfully it was. With prayer and talking to myself and being crazy and all that, I tried to get this tool banned. And I haven't seen it since. So this tool, what they used was on my toes. They even used it on the left foot sometimes. Yeah, I'd feel it there too. They would. I'm pretty sure if I remember right. Yeah. And I don't know 100% if they did, but it's like I think they did. Anyway, it was like this spirit blade. It was what I thought of it as like spirit fire, but it's like it was like a spirit blade, like a laser beam almost. Like I think of it like a blade, but it's like I think the term that was used sometimes was spirit fire. I thought of it more like a laser. But then what they would do with the laser is I could feel it. I mean, it was a definite motion, and a definite thing. And so it was like they could do that, but in a way that would cause pain to my infected feet. And so, I mean, painkillers sometimes went a little ways. They helped a little bit, but it's like I was going to feel the pain. Because they had, like I say, it was experienceable. Like, so there's no one there. Who am I going to call? 911? Call 911 for help. Yeah, right now. They just, they wouldn't do anything. Or maybe they take me to the hospital and release me and who knows, whatever. Anyway, and wouldn't solve anything. It wouldn't actually solve anything, obviously. So, but I mean, there's no one there. Who am I going to call? There's no one. And so what they would do is they would, like I say, they would take these, like the lasers or something, and they would slice my toes, and they put it on where the infection was worse, and they zap it into it and stuff like that. It was really very, very painful. I see. I don't remember every single. It's been a long time. So I don't remember every single movement, but I know they would target the weak spots. Sometimes, and other times, it's more at the base of the toes. The pinky toe happened to be the of particular focus of one of the Greys. They tried to make my pinky toe sentient in its own way, and they were how do you say, relishing or doing a great deal of care for they thought of the pinky toe as theirs. So it's like they wanted that pinky toe off, and so they were on it. So it was very harsh there, and of course I have other toes, and it was and it still has a thing about. But now, if you remember Great Origins, if you remember Great Origins, the wooden shoes, that were the slips of wood that the young Grey was forced to wear to cover their toe loss. That's one reason why I transitioned what I got to my feet for infection purposes, knowing what would happen, because that was going to trigger some psychological things. Because the way the Grey consciousnesses have to be evicted or have to leave is a special way. It's not just like anything. It's like it has to be done in a special way. And now the details of this special way, I know nothing, and I refuse to, because it'll probably be dangerous. So I just don't know. But yeah, no. They have to go in a particular special way. It's probably the wax, which I have no understanding. All right, no, I just what I know from what I understand, and I told myself is that when they're evicted from Earth, it has to be a special way. In other words, it might be just simple something like they have to choose to in their souls or something like that. Now, it could be something very simple like that. See, because I don't actually know what it is. So, but that's sort of my guess. So, anyway, I don't know anything for eviction. In other words, never to return ever again, never to see another human again, and that is what will be. We have about a decade or less to go, but hey, whatever. Life will continue on. So where was I? I don't know where I wanted to go with that. I think I had something else I wanted to mention, but I kind of forgot it. Then I had dreams, and I had dreams where there was a Grey, and these were physical sensation dreams. But I tried to suppress that. This happened several times. There was like a room with a table. I was asleep. I was asleep at the time, and there wasn't any Greys present. But in the dream, there was a Grey in particular, symbolized by Lady Sinestra in World of Warcraft. That dragon and Mount Hyjal. I believe that's symbolized by that. That particular Grey is symbolized by that dragon, I feel. The title is Bringer of Woe, and how I knew it was them is just I somehow understood it was the Bringer of Woe that was doing this to me. And what she would do is she would hurt my back really bad. It hurt in my dreams. So that would happen sometimes. I would do that thing in my dreams where I hold on to existence. I just do the torture face thing. And it was, like I said, it was sensation. It was in dreams. And it did hurt, but it wasn't as bad as the toe infection. But still. I don't like that one. Anyway. So I've been through it. I have been through it. Not only have I been through it physically, but I've also been through it mentally. I think it's the wax. I'll just get a new one. I've been through it mentally. I've been through it emotionally. I don't want to get into it. I'm like, when your body is distressed and your body has trouble, you're probably gonna have mental things because your body doesn't like it. So it's stressful. Oh, that's the part I wanted to get on about. Was that there's the way this is very interesting. They had a method, or how do I say, a objective that is beyond all the torture stuff and all that stuff I experienced. The objective was to raise the stress level to a certain level and keep it there, and to force that stress level to be high and to never let it go down. So I would try to be all right. I'll try, but so there was other ways they would do that. But it was, through all their different control mechanisms around Earth and stuff like that, they always seem to try to find some way to keep that stress level way high, like forced up. My stress level's forced up. That was how sometimes I operated. So if my stress would dip or go down, I start to feel all right. Then I'll get pained. So yeah, that was part of it. Anyway, oh, and no point technology wasn't going to be broken, but Lyrans assisted in their ways with destroying what could be done. Sort of. I don't know how to say it right, but I don't want to go into it. Regardless, moving on, right? So there's things deep in the earth, like deep tunnels in the earth, as a part of what they were doing with the no point technology. Some of those tunnels weren't exactly great. So, they could have reinforced the tunnels. They could have. There's probably going to be a reasonable thing to do is to get the super safe things that cost a lot more. But it's like one of the Greys had it stuck in their craw to do remote pain, and that's what they wanted fiercely. And I'm partly the reason for that. Because they hate me, and they want to cause me great pain. They really do. They honestly do. And so, one of them was like, well, as far as I know, it's like remote pain, we're going to need that. So, I was like, we could, but let's just see what happens. Because, I mean, it's safe. So, yeah, but that left a way for it to be destroyed. And that particular Grey consciousness that wanted to have remote pain for sure, that is very much associated with the program, that I know nothing about at all, of course, naturally, right? Well, anyway, that particular Grey consciousness was part of those that did cause me torture and pain. And it was something he loved doing. So they really wanted that remote pain real bad. And so they didn't get the safety. tunnels that would have prevented its collapse. Yeah. And it collapsed. So I mean, it's not like I played an active role in the collapse of no point technology on Earth. It's not like I was like integral. I don't want to use that word. It's not like I was a superhero on the front lines or nothing. It's that I played a role that was necessary for it to fall. It wouldn't have happened without me. But no, that doesn't mean I did it or nothing, or that I spent the resources and the turmoil that the Lyrans might have in order to get it done. I'm just saying I was there. I left my footprints on the ground. Okay, one last thing I think. I mean, one might think that one would be bitter after all this. That one might be angry at life or God or however one says it or however one thinks. I don't even want to. Yeah, no. But what I'm trying to say is one might be a little bitter at things about having to go through all of that. Because it was bad. And I shouldn't have had to gone through that. And there is more to it than just that stuff that I mentioned, because I'm talking about a particular topic. There's more around it than I even know. And it's like, you think I'd be a little bitter about all that? And why does this have to be a thing? But I'm not. How do I say? It wasn't life. It wasn't things that did that to me. That was grace. That's where the blame belongs. The grace did that to me, not life. So it's like there's a whole picture of life or whatever. I don't know how you think of it. I don't even. I'm just saying. It wasn't life who did that to me. Life couldn't actually do anything about it. But the technology, the way it is, it cuts life off from being able to do what it wants or to act. So it's like it cuts life off from being such a presence. And if it's done to a being, then that thing sort of goes away and it's a little bit lower than usual. Anyway, I don't know how to go into all the details, right? There's a lot to it. And that's really simplified. But what I'm trying to say is that it wasn't life that did that to me. It was the grace. I'm not bitter at life. I know that life couldn't do anything. I know that life sat there with me and cried with me, encouraged Lyrans to take care of it, helped them, and supported them. So, I'm not bitter at life. Life is there all the way, helping me out. And like I say, life couldn't control it. It's not like life can go in and then they start doing something else. No, it's like they'll do what they want. Things will do what they want. So it's like life couldn't just change it. It's like, no, that's going to be a thing. And there's nothing that life or me could really do about it. So it's like, I'm not bitter. It's one of those things. But look on the bright side of things, I guess one could say. Earth lived and will live forever. This I know in my heart. You may disagree, you may have questions in your mind, like, well, what would forever be? What is that? How could you live forever? It's like, yeah, but it's like, I'm just trying to say, I'm not saying don't question those things, because that's important if you want. I mean, whatever. But it's like, what I'm trying to say is what I know in my heart is that Earth will live forever. I know this. And I also seen the person that I've become as I've dealt with things in my own way. And I'm proud of who I am. And I'm proud of my body for dealing with that. I have a great body. I have a great body. And I know it. Now, I may look fat. And I may have a receding hairline up here somewhere. But it's like, nah. I seen what I went through. So, the fact that it managed to keep every toe intact and deal is something. So anyway, like I said, I love how I turned out, and I'm proud of myself. I've grown closer with life, and I don't know how to say it. Found ways to survive. I don't know. Anyway, that's that. I don't want to go into it much more. I'm just trying to say that it's not all totally bad. What they did was totally bad. But there's flowers. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you for watching, and bye.